You're on.
Hare Krishna, this is breakfast khichri for Shishirada and Nonishwar and their devotees. I usually use the one in the middle, you can use any one. And I like to use this pot, there's a reason for it, because it's thick. Because of the thickness, it helps a great deal with the khichri not sticking at the bottom. There's a few things that have to do with whether your khichri will stick or not. One is the thickness of the pot. Second is how often you stir it. And thirdly, how much water you have. So all these things need to be taken into account. So while I'm putting the pot on the flame and putting the water in, the helper is chopping the vegetables first. So as a rule, I like to request that the hard vegetables are chopped first. So that means carrots, pumpkin, the hard vegetables, because what happens is they go in first. I will show you later on.
Then you chop like this. Exactly. And then it becomes like it is exactly.
This is good size. So my personal preference is that the vegetables are still cooked, but that you can also see the vegetables in the khichri. So, in other words, I try to avoid everything from melting into a indistinct kind of soup of vegetables and rice and dal.
So how much water do we use?
I will show you in a bit, because when we get to the level,
Do we use hot or cold water?
hot water, because we want to boil the water as soon as possible, so hot water is definitely needed.
So what's the first ingredient you're gonna put in?
Carrots.
Okay. And then?
If there's pumpkin, any hard vegetables, they go in first. But I'll show you the technique for it.
Okay.
So first what I do is I put the water in. Now, that's about as much water as is needed for khichri. Now, that can vary. Sometimes there's more water and I need to remove it. Sometimes there's not enough water and I need to add. So these adjustments are an individual thing. It depends on the person, how you're cooking, how high your flame is, all these different things. Then basically that affects how quickly the water dries up in your khichri. The principle behind it is that I like the khichri to be, by the time it's finished cooking, that it's runny. Because if it's a little runny, by the time you put it in the skips, and they've sat in the skips while the offering is happening. And by the time you're actually serving the khichri, then it dries up to exactly the right consistency. Because if it's too dry to begin with, then in that period it just basically dries up completely, and it's not so nice. It's not so nice to eat and digest.
Same with porridge, yeah?
I would think the same, yeah.
The butcher